My name's Kevin Dixon. I'm a historian in Torquay, and today we are in the remarkable Torre Abbey, an ancient medieval building and really one of the gems of our town. One of the interesting things about this as an abbey was that it was pre-Monstertensian. It was the richest pre-Monstertensian abbey in Britain, and one of the unique and interesting things is that the canons themselves traditionally wore white, and we have an illustration here of one of those canons. Other monasteries, other abbeys, the monks and the canons and the abbots tended to wear the traditional black, but this is one way we can actually sort of identify a pre-Monstertensian abbot.
This is the story of the world's most famous kidnapping. It's also the story of the world's most extortionate ransom demand, and its association with a small provincial part of England. It is part of the story of our nation. In the year 1192, King Richard of England, Richard the Lionheart, was returning from the Crusade, the Third Crusade, in the Holy Land. As he was returning across the Mediterranean, his ship was wrecked. Therefore, that meant that he had to travel across land. As he was nearing Vienna, he was seized by Leopold of Austria. Now, Leopold of Austria was, of course, another Christian king. However, it was a real scandal, the fact that he had seized another monarch, particularly one on crusade. He was immediately summoned by the Pope, who excommunicated Leopold and condemned him for this terrible act of offence against the Church and against the Crusades. Richard then was transferred into the custody of the Holy Roman Emperor, and the Holy Roman Emperor demanded a massive ransom. Now, this ransom was 3 times the entire income of the English crown, so obviously money wasn't forthcoming immediately. So a quarter of the income of every freeborn Englishman and every clergyman was actually demanded to be paid to the crown, but it still wasn't enough. Nevertheless, the Holy Roman Emperor did agree to release Richard on one condition, and that condition was 67 of the highest born of England would be put into his care, effectively sort of paid to ransom. Things are a little bit sort of vague on this. However, we do know that amongst those that were negotiating for the release of the king was William Brewer the Elder. Now, William Brewer the Elder was the Sheriff of Devon, and his son was William Brewer the Younger, obviously. And what we do know is that shortly after that event, after the king was released and after the hostages were released, even though the ransom hadn't actually been paid, that William Brewer opened and funded the opening of 3 abbeys, one of which was Torre Abbey. So we believe, and it's assumed, that the money was actually dedicated in thanks for his son being actually released from being a hostage. The other close association we have between the Brewer family and Torre Abbey is this grave. This is the grave of William Brewer the Younger. William Brewer was actually buried here in 1232, and he was dressed in the robes of a pre-Monstertensian abbot, those white robes that we saw earlier.